Feels good to ride, man. I haven't ridden since I got back from Odiham last weekend. It's so good. I didn't look behind me, actually. I should have checked. I was in such a hurry to get out today that I completely forgot to put my mirror back on, so I'm kind of riding blind here, and I'm all about those shoulder checks right now, bro. Which is good, I guess. Gets you in the habit of doing it more often. That said, I would prefer to have a little mirror. It's just quicker and easier to just have a quick glance at it every now and then. But hey, it's not such a bad idea to get in the habit of checking your blind spots more often, I suppose. Anyway, what's up, people? Welcome. I wanted to talk to you guys about my recent track day at Odiham, actually. I don't have any footage of the day, unfortunately, because there is a ban on cameras on circuit. I can't imagine there's anything quite as sucky as when you're ploughing down the main straight at 160 miles an hour and the GoPro falls off the bike in front of you, bounces off the ground and hits you in the chest. And secondly, of course, the Air Force Base themselves have all the equipment to worry about. For instance, they launch Chinooks from that base all the time, and if you suck a piece of a GoPro into a Chinook engine, boom. Okay, we're good. No one behind. Lovely. So, on the way to the PO box, can't wait to see if there's anything in there from you beautiful people. The next fan mail video is just around the corner. I've just been waiting for a couple more things to come in. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my track day at Odiham. So let's go back to the very beginning, shall we? I'm all prepared to leave, and I think to myself, oh, you know what? You should probably take the bung for your exhaust. If you go all that way and then they don't allow you on track because you don't pass the sound check, that would be a crying shame. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Go and get the bung out of the shed, don't forget it, it's super important. And then I go to say goodbye to my son, and the poor little guy just bursts into tears and says that he's scared that I'm going to have an accident. And I was like, no, it's fine, it's cool, it's fine, no worries. Everything is going to be okay, don't worry about it. Daddy's done it a few times before, but you know, I really didn't have time for that, bless him. I didn't have time to console him much because I really had to leave to catch the boat. So I hop on the bike and get going. 15 minutes away from the house, what do I notice? Well, shit. I left the goddamn bung in the shed. You know, bless him, poor little guy burst into tears, which distracted me and it just completely escaped me, and I forgot. So I get 15 minutes from the house, remember that I've forgotten it, turn around, hoon back, grab it, hoon all the way back to the ferry, and I missed it by about 45 seconds. Oh, please don't tell me I'm too late. Ah, so close. Oh, it's okay, it's my fault, I forgot something, had to go home and get it. 45 seconds. Oh, really? Oh, you're kidding. That's all it was. Okay, alright, thank you. So I had to sit at the ferry port for an hour. Funny enough though, bumped into a subscriber, so that was cool. That doesn't happen all that often. Got to Eames by 9, which I was happy with. I didn't expect to get there that quickly, but then again, I don't hang around on the motorway. I don't drive like a twat, but people don't realise, I think, the difference to a trip it makes if you were to do, you know, 15, 20 miles an hour more. So I get to Weems' place, he says that he's been making barbecue pulled pork. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. For those of you that don't know, Weems' missus is of exotic origin, you might say. So the food that they make is often quite different to what I'm used to. And it turns out that there was no pork in that whatsoever. It was actually something called jackfruit that I've never heard of before. It was really good. It was really good. It wasn't as good as regular pulled pork, but I digress. Not bad. Head to bed about 11 because we've got to be up at about 5:30. Sleep like shit. Keep waking up at what feels like every half hour or something. I don't know why. Before I know it, it's light outside, so I might as well get up anyway. I can hear Weem coughing in the next room. Weem makes me the most badass coffee I've had in a long time. It's goddamn delicious. But he made it with skimmed milk, the cheeky bastard. We arrive at Odiham, meet up with the usual suspects, and just have an awesome time. Absolutely awesome time. Of course, I'm not going to start name dropping who was there because I always forget somebody and then I feel really guilty afterwards. Mostly uneventful. A couple of our group came off. I don't want to say who they are because I haven't asked them if they're okay with everyone knowing. No harm done though, just the odd scratch and ding on the bike, no injuries. So they were fine. I had one close call with a guy. When you get there, you have to have a safety briefing, right, to get your blue wristband to let you on track. And during the safety briefing, they tell you all the things that it's not cool to do. And one of those things is apex stealing. Because it's not a race, there's no point risking an accident to get ahead of the guy in front. But this guy on a black Suzuki got caught up in a race with another guy on a, I think it was a ZX-10. And Christ, these guys were going hell for leather to try and pass me. But in the turns, this bike is actually really competitive because the low down exit speed on this is really, really good, right? Good enough to fend off a litre inline 4 until they start getting some speed up. So these guys are battling behind me during all the little twisty bits. And so I reach this corner, which is a sharp right, a 90-degree right. And when I pass that turn, I'm damn near brushing the hay bales with my shoulder. And so I've shifted my weight over to the right-hand side of the bike. I've got my elbow out and my knee out, and I'm just leaning in. When this black GSXR, I notice it appear right on the side of my vision, right there, right where he's overcooked his entry speed. So he's going for it. And if I don't abort the turn, I'm going to hit him. There's nowhere for him to go because now he's between the hay bales and me, which is a tiny distance, maybe 2 feet maximum at this point. So I have no choice but to abort the turn and stand up and let him through. So the corner is all kinds of fucked for me, and I notice as he pulls away onto the main straight, he looks over his shoulder at me. Honestly, I don't think it was an intentional dick move per se. I think he just committed to an overtake, was sure that he could have done it, but ran out of room. I don't think he was intentionally trying to push me over per se. I mean, I could be wrong, but I like to see the best in people. I ended up leaving the day early. I left about 12, half 12, I think, something like that, because the day's forecast was shite. And let's just say that I'm glad I did leave early. Just as I got into Portsmouth City, the heavens opened, man. I got wet as fook. There's something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, which is something that I didn't want to talk about. As I was coming back along the M275 into Portsmouth, I saw the most horrendous thing that I've ever seen in person. So I'm going down the fast lane like this, there's more traffic in front of me, and out of nowhere I see a guy doing a cartwheel over the central reservation about 10 or 15 feet into the air. I don't see him land, I just see this guy do a cartwheel, right? So I ended up doing a double take, like, did that really just happen? Did I really see that? Then I started to see pieces of debris on the road. There was a top box or a pannier or something on the hard shoulder on my side. His bike stayed on the other side, and he was on our side of the motorway, right? 4-lane motorway. I saw this guy fly through the air. I didn't see what he hit, how he hit it. I didn't see him land. I had no idea what the fuck was happening. I wasn't even sure that I'd really seen it until the cars in front of me reacted to it, and I saw the pieces of bike on the ground a few hundred meters up the road. Was the guy just laying there. His arms and legs were facing different directions, and it was just fucking horrific. I've never actually seen that happen in person, in front of me, and I just burst into tears, man. I just thought, holy shit, that could have been anyone. That could have been me. Anyway, you know, long story short, I had nothing to add. I couldn't help anybody. There were people around him already, so I carried on going. I couldn't bear to be looking at it. I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not, but there was nothing I could have added to the situation to help in any way, so I carried on going to the boat. And when I got there, you know, I got to the ferry terminal in the pissing rain. I was wet, cold, emotional, and I just fucking cried in the ferry terminal. As pathetic as that may be, it just overwhelmed me a little to see it. I think it kind of brought me home, especially considering that I'd just literally an hour or two prior been hooning it around a track as fast as I possibly could. Adrenaline was up, emotions were up. It just it got the better of me. But I tweeted when I got on the ferry, just saying, look, I've just seen a horrible accident, guys, please keep your wits about you when you ride. You can avoid some accidents by staying awake, staying vigilant, thinking twice about what you do on the road and when you do it. So please do. Please just take that extra second just to think, what would happen if I hooned it around this blind bend at 70 miles an hour? Anyway, let's get off that fucking horrendous subject. And the day after, my legs were aching like fuck, my back was aching because I'm unfit as anything, and it's surprisingly hard work on a track, but it was amazing to see my buddies again. It was great fun hanging out, riding around, and talking shit in the downtime between sessions. So massive thank you to Weem for putting me up that night. Massive thank you to everyone else for just being there, being you, being cool, and making being off track just as fun as being on track. But I'm going to go check the PO box now, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you for being patient, because videos have been a little slow the last week, because obviously I've landed a freelance contract which requires most of my attention, and until I get that done and submitted, unfortunately the vlogs have to take a bit of a back seat, but they'll keep coming, just a little slowly for the time being. But thank you so much for your patience, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I've been Smo, you guys have been awesome. Peace.